Good afternoon. Look at that, I got it right. How is everybody? Well, I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for asking. Oh my goodness. Well, children, shall we cleanse? I have a feeling we're going to need this. Hold, please. How about once more, just for good measure? That wasn't a very good one because I didn't use my right hand. This time I'm going to use my right hand, the gong hand. Do you guys remember the Gong Show? If you're old like me, you will. Was that Chuck Berry or Chuck Woolery? God, I think I need to get a gong. There we go. Namaste, bitches. Okay, so how's everybody doing? Good morning, Emmy. Headstones and headlines. How are you? Remy, good morning. Hi, Stella Bella. SoFlo Mama, how you doing, girl? Running Bear, good afternoon. I'm sorry, it's afternoon. Sorry. Hey, Bash, how are ya? It's me, Amberly. Good afternoon. Brittany. Brittany, did you miss anything here with me? No. Nope. I just about 2 minutes ago logged on. Ariana's mom. Good afternoon. Cool gamer. Hey, voices. How you doing? TT the good Tiffany. Good afternoon. Mitten Mama. How are ya? Okay. Let me find my glasses. Oh, here they are. All right, let's see. Which pair do I want to wear today? These match rather nicely. I did actually wash the lenses of each pair. Oh, I don't know. I might be a little partial to these today. What do you think? Survey says I wear, oh, well, if history repeats, as it typically does every episode, at some point, I am going to drop one of these on the floor and then be required to use the second pair. So it's truly probably just a matter of which am I going to wear first? Oh my God, y'all, it's about this hair. The humidity is so bad in Florida. I think am I late for my hair appointment? My hairdresser was going out of town and she had to move. Not only did she have to move me back a week, my choice was get moved, take 4 weeks instead of 3. And here's the kicker. Oh, it needs to be 8 o'clock in the morning. Takes me an hour to get there. But I was like, girl, whatever, I'll do it. I'll spend the night in the parking lot if I have to. So, because the weather is so, oh God, y'all, it's like I'm getting angry. It is so damn hot and humid in Florida that the minute you walk out the door, it's, the punch, it's like the punch to the face. And it is so hot that, at least for me, my skin actually starts burning. And when I say burning, I don't mean like sunburn. I mean like like you just rolled in fiberglass. Oh, it's vicious. And yeah, it's starting to make me angry. Hey, Gina Diamond, how are you, girl? Mike Stevens, CC Jones. Okay, I think I'm caught up. Oh, you're having rain in Jersey? Well, you know what? Oh, this perfect segue into my hi Liza, how are you? Into my explanation of yesterday, what happened. You know, not that that's the first time I've ever scheduled a live and changed the time at least once, possibly twice, and then just completely flaked. Y'all, I always say my real life comes first. And yesterday, I had no choice. I did the video. I was getting ready to sit down in the seat, and I heard the sonic boom that if y'all have ever lived someplace close to a transformer, well, you know what it means when you hear it. It means no TV, no air conditioner, no refrigerator, no stove, no microwave. Yes, you go back to the pioneer days. So I thought that I canceled it on StreamYard. I thought I deleted the whole broadcast. Apparently I did not, because, I don't know, it might have been an hour after I was scheduled to do the live. I did a community post I pushed pause on the crowded room. That's what I got into yesterday. And I thought, you know what? I at least need to give an explanation as to why I changed the time twice. And at the moment, I don't even remember why I did that. I edited the time. I can't remember if I moved it forward or if I pushed it back. I don't know, but I did 2 edits on the time. And then we had the boom. So I was on my iPad watching The Quiet Room. And, you know, of course, when the power comes back on, you hear all the little beep, you know, the microwave, I have a surge protector on my TV because, yes, I have lost a giant TV to a lightning strike. TT, listen, yesterday, and this is typical, this has happened many times. I was out power. It was working across the street. It's not the first time that's happened, and it won't be the last. But so as I was sitting there, because I use the hotspot on my phone, you know, until hopefully I didn't run out of battery completely to watch TV on the iPad until everything came back up. But as I was sitting there, I thought, oh my God, you need to at least make a community post and explain like the 2 schizo sounding time edits within the span of, I mean, it was probably just a couple minutes. And then they all, you know, complete cancellation. So when I made the community post, of course, I didn't bother to check it until this morning. But I saw that Gina Diamond, thank you for looking out for me, girl. Gina said, we're in your chat and like, we're worried. Is everything okay? Y'all, I so appreciate that. And I am so sorry. I thought that I deleted the broadcast through StreamYard. Apparently I did not. So I apologize. And thank you for overlooking my bad manners. Mike said I had a black soul in Benny's chat, huh? Well, Mike, I guess that's your invitation to leave, isn't it? I mean, listen, am I surprised? No. Because even though Mike says he likes to look at me, well, that does not mean that he likes me or has 1 ounce of respect for me. Like, this is not news. Do I care? No. The only time I ever boot Mike is when he starts bothering everybody else in the chat with the ridiculous shit that he says. I couldn't care less. It's not about me. So, does it surprise me? No. Am I going to lose any sleep over it? No. I find it. You had Lisa Lightning coming through the fire. Well, did you see what happened on my live stream the other day? I think it was, what's today? Wednesday? Well, I wasn't on Monday. Maybe it was last week. I don't know, but all of a sudden I was playing clips. Oh, it was Sunday. And then all of a sudden, kind of like an apparition. Well, no, because we didn't see it. We just heard it. No, actually, she must have popped up on the screen. All of a sudden, here's Makeup Mobster saying, "Oh, for the first time probably ever, I'm early." And we were all like, "What the hell's that?" I don't know how it happened, but at any rate, hey, Wine, Crime, and Mayhem, how are you? Just boot. Listen, we got two options here, okay? Clearly he's working on a VPN, and unless we want one of the mods to have a sole, like that can just be their job, just be on mic patrol. So that's our first choice. Boot him. He'll be back in 5 minutes, like the last time. So I mean, usually nobody else ever causes. We have very little issues in here because I don't care if somebody comes rolling through the chat and tells me, all the shit I've heard before. You're old. You wear too much makeup. You have fake tits. Blah blah. Yeah, and so like I don't care about shit like that. I don't get like that's not gonna. I'm not gonna get apoplectic over that. So, I mean, I guess if Emmy, if you would like to be nominated, as long as you're here, to be the mic police, well, that's our first choice. Kick him, and every time he comes back, kick him again. Or what's probably more practical is ignore him. But that's only going to work if everybody ignores him. So, I've said before, I don't think Mike Stevens is just, Mike Stevens, generic sub. I mean, there's a lot of Mike Stevens in the world. It really doesn't matter. It's about you guys. If you can deal with him, fine. There's nothing he's gonna say to me. I don't, whatever he says at Betty's, I don't care. I mean, he's got some reason for being here. I think it's probably twofold at least. But whatever. I leave it to you guys to decide. Okay. Kick him and then just keep kicking him, or just everybody ignore him. If you don't interact with the animals at the zoo, I mean, I guess eventually they stop trying to do party tricks. I don't know. I've never had to deal with this before. So handle it as you will. Hey, Jasmina, how you doing? Am I late? I'm not late, am I? No, you're late, Cece. I think I was only 3 minutes late. Hey, Beer Can, how you doing? High Revival. Self-love, you love fake tits? Well, I tell you what, I mean, I think even the haters would, well, we're not going to go there, but my fake tits, much like everything else I buy, well, they didn't come from Big Lots, as I'm I'm just going to leave that there. I don't want to get into the realm of completely classless and tacky. I'll leave that to Mike's other blonde girlfriend. Okay. All right. Let me get my little notes out here because I just have not really notes. I just wrote a couple things down. The order that I would like to speak about these things. Okay. So let me just take a look at this real quick. Oh, let me see the name of it. This morning, as I was putting on my war paint, hold on 1 minute. I want to see the name. I think it was from yesterday, but I just want to make sure before. Damn it. Before I tell y'all to go watch it. Actually, hold on a minute. I'm going to put the link right in the chat. Share, copy, and damn it, paste. Yes, there we go. That is the link to Nonsense's video from yesterday. What's it titled? Exploitation versus Education. And it seems that we have a new soldier in the incredibly ugly and inside and out and not so bright Bull's Gordon Betty. Yes, we have another soldier in the war. And oh God, I got a big kick out of it. You usually don't hear Nonsense talk about Betty because much like the rest of us, the sound of that bitch's voice just like, ah. But yesterday she did. And I'm not all the way through it, but oh, does she flip her wing? Woo! I'm definitely gonna finish when I leave here. So yeah, there's that. So please go check that out. And all joking aside, Nonsense, at least to me, seems to be a very logical, even-tempered, thoughtful person. And she, we all do things in different ways. But I really appreciate her way. And I hope she'll speak more on that particular tragedy pimp. As far as I'm concerned, they all need to go. I only wish there was something I could do to make that happen. Alas, there's not. But, until that time, well, I'll just keep exploiting the exploiters. I have no problem doing that. I've made no secret of that. So, okay, so there's that. Oh, the other thing I want to recommend is by the time my power came back on yesterday, y'all, well, I was so into what I was watching. Oh, what am I missing? Oh, God, Veda. Children of the Corn. Oh, it's so funny to hear little Veda getting all, she's just a foul-mouthed, immature little brat. That's all she is. And she thinks that she roasted Queen Bee's panel. Sweetie, like I said, check out my videos if you want to see how it's done. Or you could watch Martha Stewart roasting Snoop Dogg. That was pretty amusing as well. Okay. So what I started watching on Apple TV, I don't know why I draw a blank every time I go to say this. The Crowded Room. I cannot remember the name of the actors. Oh, the one main actress I do. Amanda, is it Seyfried? Seyfried, Seyfried, something like that. It's really good. It's 8 episodes. I'm on number 5. I think. Okay. Yep. I think that was all of the suggestions I wanted to make. Okay. Now, hold on. I'm gonna put my gold pen that goes with my notebook in the loop. I have to put it back, otherwise it's gonna get lost. And that's half the reason I bought the damn thing, because it always has a little home on the side of the book. All right. I did see before I came in here that Deets on the Street was live. She is probably still live. I did not watch any of it at all. Sorry. That was kind of rude. Oh. Deets? Yes, I like Deets. Sorry, y'all. I'm reading the chat. This is why I try not to read the chat, because I get all sidetracked. Oh, Laura's on Deets' panel right now. Oh, I'm definitely going to watch. All right. I have show and tell. Okay, first and foremost, hand to God, this is the God's honest truth. Yesterday, once my power went out and I decided not to do my live, I did not come back on YouTube. I was into watching The Crowded Room. Unlike many people on here, this is not my life. I've said multiple times, you can put the YouTube down and walk away for a day, 2 days, a week, a month, shit, probably a decade. And if you're coming back to this space, well, everything will be exactly as it was when you left it. You know, the players change around. There's only so many storylines to go around. Y'all understand what I'm saying. All right, so here is what I know about what has transpired between, I guess, about 21 hours ago and the time I'm sitting my ass in this seat right now. And I'm going to tell you the entirety of what I know. And you might not like what you're going to hear from me, but you're going to get kind of like the video I made this morning. What you see sitting here, this is me. This is the real me. I'm not coming in here putting on some, bullshit facade. This is me. Obviously, like everyone else, we all show you what we want you to see. And as we are entitled to do, we don't share everything about our lives. Some share more than others. I try to make a very clear distinction between YouTube and my real life. There is a reason you have never heard me speak in anything more than generalities about my personal life. Of course, you hear funny stories about my husband that are all true. You know I have an adult child, and you know that I have family fairly you know, close to where I live. You know that I am not monetized. You know this is not my job. I'm not on here trying to get famous, etc. And I am entitled to that. If I had it to do all over again, let me say this, maybe, and it's probably somewhat because of my age. I'm 53 years old. I come from a time before we had social media and the internet. I am not particularly, I'm very not savvy at all with tech in general. And social media, this is all I have. I had an Instagram at one time that I did only fashion stuff on. I haven't had that in, I don't remember how you do it over there, if you deactivate it, because it's been at least a year that I stopped doing anything on that platform at all. Hi, Touch of Happiness. How are you? Hi, Stargazer Mom. I never got into Facebook. I think that the first social media that came out that I can remember, along with the dial-up connection that I can hear in my ear right now, I believe it was MySpace. I never did MySpace ever. Facebook, I've never done Facebook. I had an account at one time only because my girlfriend, who was a computer programmer, told me I needed to get one for my business. I was like, why? So she set it up, and I think I had exactly 10 friends, and they were all family. And I just never posted on it. I've never done TikTok, Snapchat, none of that. This is the only thing I do. If I knew about, let's see, how long has it been? God, could it really only be a little over a year that I've been on YouTube? I need to see, the first channel I had, Crimes and Fashion, I blew that one up during the Quentin Simon case because I was just like, I cannot believe how disgusting these scumbag people are. And I just thought, to what end? That was what I was always asking. To what end is this? Because I got the message loud and clear. What I was going to say is what you had to do to have channel growth, but that's not a correct statement. That's what you would, there's only two ways to go about it from where I can see in this space. You either act the goddamn fool like the tragedy pimps and go scream your ass off in front of someone's house, call yourself, a member of the media, when we don't need to go over all that. You know exactly what I'm saying. Had I known when I started this YouTube channel that I thought, the first one, and then stayed off of it for a couple months. And when I say stayed off of it for a couple months, I mean, I didn't look at a damn thing. There were two people that actually, I take that back. There were three. There were three people that I stayed in touch with when I left the first time until I came back this last time, which I think has been 4 or 5 months, give or take. The last time I was here, I think, honestly, I think it might have been 6 months, maybe. It was not much more than 6 months. all of that has been to say, as I am sitting in this seat right now, if I knew everything that I knew, that I now know sitting in this seat, oh, I would have very strongly considered being anonymous, I guess. Appearing, ma'am, what are we doing? We're doing feline Pilates again in the yoga studio directly behind my left shoulder. Although I'm sure it's going to look like the right shoulder on there, but it's my left. And I say that because I see the tactics and the depths that many of the people in this space will go to for whatever the reasons are. Channel growth, jealousy, etc. But, you know, we can't unring my Tibetan song bowl, and it's done, and it is what it is. Okay. So, when I tell you that this is not my life, this is a hobby, I enjoy it very much. What I really like is the camaraderie that you build with people. I mean, I know there's that term. What is it? Parasocial. I don't know why that always makes me think of like a rash or something, but it does. Damn. Sorry. I'm drinking raspberry tea. Raspberry zinger tea. Is it Celestial Seasonings? I love that. Raspberry zinger tea with 3 Splendas and a giant spoonful of sugar to help the medicine go down. Oh, God, that might be very apropos. No, not sugar honey. Clover honey. So, this isn't my life. If this went tomorrow and it was all gone, I am actually beginning to wonder if that would not be a favor to me. Oh, the other reason, listen, I've made this little spiel before, but I'm going to say once again, when I started this channel the first time, and the reason I came back the second time, I wanted to be able to, well, I thought I was going to come on YouTube and talk about true crime. I have been interested in true crime since I was in middle school. In fact, it makes me think back and say, Mom, why the hell were you letting me read those books? So there's always been that. Oh, and newsflash to people like Natasha Cooper and some of these other tragedy pimps. Just because you are like all the rest of us in this particular housing project of YouTube, just because you, like us, have an interest in true crime, whether it's been 10 weeks, 10 years, a decade, well, that is 10 years, a century, whatever the case may be. Yeah, I know, it's 100 years. Just because you have that interest and you have a platform and you have access to things like autopsy photos that you are in no fucking way qualified to opine on, that doesn't make you a member of the Associated Press Corps, okay? Doesn't make you Diane Sawyer. And just because you have these things, it doesn't give you the right to take possession of and then exploit the shit out of somebody else's dead baby. Period. End of story. So save the bullshit. Nobody on here invented this, okay? And what's so ironic about this channel and my experience on here is the fact that for the first time in my life since middle school, I'm not even interested. I shouldn't say I'm not interested. I actually don't want to talk about a lot of the things that people talk about on here because I know what people want. And what people want are the fucking scumbags of the world who are going to exploit other people's dead relatives and their personal tragedies for every reason under the sun. I will never do that. And I 100% categorically disavow anyone who does that. And I'm getting to the heels in the air, okay? I am. I'm going to completely address it, and you're going to have you're not going to leave here guessing my thoughts, but I'm going to do it in the way I've written down because this is all I've written down. I mean, you can see it right here. There's nothing on the next page. It's simply for my purposes so that I stay on the track and that I don't leave out anything that I want to make sure that I address. And I'm not just going to address it in a vacuum. We're going to start at the beginning and we're going to end right here. And I'm going to warn you now, this is probably going to leave you feeling, well, you know what they say about how you know something is probably a good deal made between, let's just say two people in this case. Well, both sides are probably going to walk away a little unhappy. And that's probably, well, I shouldn't say probably. That may be how you walk away from this. I will be 100% authentic and true to myself and who I am. And whoever doesn't like it, you are welcome to unsubscribe. I'm not for everybody. I don't try to be. So, here we go. I don't want to turn this into a political debate. That's a sure wet blanket on the conversation about, I don't know anything. I hate politics. I hate the politicians. I think every one of them are absolute scumbags. Politics is a filthy, dirty business. There's a reason, like, Bullhorn Betty, why she thinks politics are so great. Well, I would submit to you that, the politicians who do well and who, stay in office for, I don't know, ever or as long as they can, well, they're the ones that, you've just got to be willing to do a lot of things. Good, bad, ugly, popular, unpopular. All of that is to say, I hate them all. Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever. Do we have another party? whatever it is. I think they all suck. If I had my way, we would summarily dismiss with no notice all 100 senators and every congressperson. Bye. You've got until 6 o'clock this evening to clean out your office. Oh, and don't forget to go get your clothes from the Capitol gym. Oh, and call the in-house dry cleaner and tell them to send all your shit up, and have your assistant and your car service and your this and your that. You get the picture. Yeah, I've got no, I hate politics, okay? Sorry. I hate that I do that. I play with my hair when it's down and it just bothers me. So if it bothers me, I'm sure it bothers some of you. Here's something else I want to make very plain. I am absolutely 100% prejudice against dumb people, mean people. I don't like dumb people. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say those are the only prejudices I have, but I can assure you, I do not have any glaring, none of the big ones, okay? Like, you know, I'm prejudiced against polyester. I hate it. It doesn't breathe. I'm prejudiced. Listen, I'm going to try and inject a little bit of humor where I can. All right. So this is what has happened. This is what has happened between yesterday at hold on. I want to see. I wonder if it was. I'm going to see if I can see what time I made that community post. It just says 1 day ago. Okay, so this is what has happened. This is my knowledge about what has happened between the time I made the community post yesterday and right now, as I sit in this chair. I woke up. I watched no YouTube yesterday. I did make one comment on the good Nunya's. It was something about Veda, and I made a hilarious, if I say so myself, I made a hilarious comment to the good Nunya's. Was it I'm not sure if it was a community post. I think it was. Or if it was a clip of a video. That's the only thing I did. I watched The Crowded Room, and then last night when I was, did all my shit during the day, put that on pause, did my, dinner, walk the dog, blah, blah, blah. When I went in my room, I didn't want to watch that anymore because it's kind of like it deals with a murder. After the other night, I'm like, no, I need something a little lighter. So I told you I'm a PBS girl. I love PBS Masterpiece Theater. Oh, that's how you know you're old. And if I told you what time it was, well, yeah, that would really confirm that I'm old. There is a fantastic series called Indian Summer that I've been trying to get through for, probably a year. And it's not because it's not good. It's because, I don't know, I just always fall asleep, and then there's something else I want to watch, and I just keep pushing that off to the side. But that's what I decided to watch last night. Oh, and I'm reading a new book. It's fabulous. I don't think I did make a post about it. I'm going to, though. I finished The Covenant of Water. Fantastic. And I am now reading Lessons in Chemistry. It's really good. So that was all I did. That's what my day consisted of. It should have, what I should have done is, oh, I don't know, catch up on work. No, that was the plan, but then I started watching that Crowded Room, and oh, that was that. So that is what my day consisted of, from the time I made the community post yesterday until we pick up in the morning. And I'm going to show you something. So when I got up this morning at, I don't know, 7-ish, I did what I always do. Walked the dog, made coffee, sat down on the couch, and turned on YouTube. And I'm trying to remember what was the first thing I saw. Oh, Chronicles of the Shady. And I clicked on it. And I watched. And I was like, what is this about? So then I start reading the comments. And I don't know how many were on there at the time and where what I was reading falls in the order of what is there now, because I haven't gone back since this morning. And I did not leave a comment. I just wanted to read the comments to try and figure out what the hell's going on. So I still didn't get it. And that video was short. And I kept trying to pause on my TV so that I could read the text blocks that were up. Just because of the way mine pauses. I was able to read part of it, but not all of it. So I thought, well, I'm going to go straight to the source. And I'm going to tell y'all right now that you guys probably know far more than I do about this situation as I sit here in this chair. All right, so I'm going to show you two things. Hold on. I'm going to take my phone out of the case. And I'm doing that because it's a monogram case and it's not just my initials that are on it. Okay. This morning at 7:27 a.m. Shit. Damn it. I'm trying to show you all why the hell is it not? I don't understand why it's not letting it. Can you see it from there? You guys can't see anything on that, can you? Fuck. I don't know how to get rid of the backlight. Maybe, I wonder if I turn off the ring light, the square light. You'll just have to take my word for it. If someone feels like they absolutely need to see the timestamp, it's no problem. I will post it on my community page. For whatever reason, you can't see my screen. At 7:27 this morning, based on that Chronicles video being the first thing, dim the screen brightness. Okay. On the, do I do it on the phone? Let me see if I can. Oh, there we go. All right, let's try that and see if that worked. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Hey, Lisa, how are you? Okay. Let me turn it down a little bit more because I left just a little bit of it. Okay, well, I'll turn it all the way down. Well, that might be too dark. Okay. I hope that's better. And why? Ugh, Jesus. That thing just totally turned up on its own. That was weird. Okay. Jesus, there's something in the setting, obviously, that's making the backlight adjust itself. Let me try not turning it all the way down, but almost all the way down. Oh God dang it. Y'all, I don't know what to tell you. It's adjusting itself and I don't know why. And I don't know how to make it stop doing it. Let me try it in the settings and see if that. Display and brightness. Okay, let's do that. Okay, here we go. We might be cooking with grease now. I changed it right in the settings. All right, I turned it to dark instead of light. Let's see if this works. All right, can y'all see? Oh my God. Listen, y'all, I tried. I don't know. I don't know why it's, like I said, if I need to, if anybody just, cannot take my word for it and they need to see the timestamps and they need to see does that help any? That looks like maybe it's a little better. All right, so this morning at 7:27, I sent Heels in the Air a text. And she is on Central Time. So for her, it's, I think, 6:27. Shit, hold on. I need to change this back because I can't see. Unless I can just change it from here. Oh, there we go. Okay. Does that help anything? I give up. All right, so all I saw this morning, the one and only thing I've seen on YouTube between the time I made the community post yesterday and left a comment in Nanya's either video or community post was Chronicles video from, I believe it was last night it was uploaded. I'm not sure. It was just a few minutes, 7 minutes, maybe something like that. That's the one and only thing I've seen in that time frame. So at 7:27 my time, I sent her a text. It says, "Girl, WTF is going on? I just got up and I see you've been doxxed. Chronicles video playing you giving an interview to some English guy about Michael Brown, etc. I didn't have power for hours yesterday, so I watched nothing. You may need to call me when you get up and tell me what WTH is going on." I figured that was your name from the lawsuit, but I'm lost. Then I send another one immediately after that says, "The guy interviewing you is adorable. His hair reminds me of a Flock of Seagulls singer, LOL." Then at 8:39, I sent another one. Now, I told you I saw Chronicles video and I was like, what is this? So I thought, well, let me read the comments and see if that helps me out. It really didn't. But I did see in the comments something about the circle jerks. So I went to go find the circle jerks. Well, it took me a minute, but I found out that they are now known just as the jerks. So in the interim, before the final text message that I send at 8:39, my husband's in the kitchen and I show him. My husband follows a lot of politics because, like me, my husband watches very little of anything except YouTube. But he ain't rolling around in this housing project. My husband watches stocks, you know, like, what do they call those? Personal financial advisors. He watches that. He watches a lot of this. It's actually pretty cool. I think it's a group. It's kind of like a big band style, but they take modern songs and they do them in that like big band swing kind of way. And he watches computer shit and news. So I show him. I said, hey, look at this video. Do you know who this guy is? And now I want to say right here, I am assuming that is Heels because I recognize the voice, obviously. And this is the God's honest truth, hand to God, strike me dead if I'm lying. I did not know Heels in the Air, and I still never got complete 100% confirmation. But when the lawsuit came out, that's the first time I ever heard that name. I'm gonna, as soon as I finish this little bit, we're gonna go down, we're gonna take a walk, chronological order. We're gonna do it in the order things happened. All right, so I say to my husband, do you look at this video? Do you know who this guy is? The flock of seagulls guy. And he said, yeah, that's, is it Milos? Milos Yiannopoulos. I, of course, know the name. And God, he is cute. And oh my God, on a little aside, his fashion choices on point. Yes, most gay men are very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like, oh, what's that dude's name? God, he's like the godfather of, shit. It'll come to me. At any rate, I was like, oh, shit. Okay. I don't follow that dude. I have seen him. I think, wasn't that, he was very active on even mainstream media, wasn't he? During the election, the Trump and Clinton. After he said, yeah, that's Yiannopoulos, I was like, oh, okay. Now I see it. I knew I recognized the guy, but truly I was like, who is that dude? All right, so now I'm starting to think, oh, wow. Okay, so this is probably like, I need to figure out what's going on here because, I mean, obviously, I know that guy is far right, and I know that he's controversial, or he was. Y'all, after the election, I watched a lot of mainstream media leading up to the election. I've said many times, I voted for Donald Trump. I am a Republican, but I don't vote based on that letter behind my name. I vote for the person I think is going to best do the job and who's positive to me and my family. And I voted against Hillary Clinton. It's not like I had some great love for Donald Trump. I think he's a fucking ass clown. Okay. But I hated her more because, well, we're full stop. Okay. So then I find what is now called the jerks. And I watched it all. I had the same problem as I had with Chronicles. When I would pause it, there was so much shit in the way that I wasn't able to see 100% of what was up there, particularly with the memes and like in the bubbles. Trust me, I got the message. I I got the gist of what was going on. Okay. I absolutely do want to see all of it, and I will. I just did not have the opportunity to see more than that video from the jerks. And I think it was it like 17 minutes maybe? That's the one I watched. Okay. At 8:39, I sent another text message. I did not have a response to the first two. This is the last one I've sent. I said, I just found the jerks video and my husband told me who the flock of seagulls guy is, LOL. I'm going live at 12:15. Go read the comments on my community post, par for the course. If you have time, call me before I go live at 12:15. She did not respond. That in and of itself is not at all unusual in my relationship with heels. That's pretty typical. Not always, but I would say at least 50% of the time, she does not see my messages or respond until, I mean, sometimes it's never, sometimes it's days. I mean, obviously, if there was, it's never been anything of, serious import where I've felt the need to, like, I really need to talk to you. So it just kind of is what it is, one of those things. All right. So from this point forward, we're going to go in chronological order, and I'm going to address this in the way I'm choosing to do it. All right. So I think the best place to start is you start at the very beginning. A very good place to start, says Mary Poppins. She's not wrong. So the beginning is when I was here the first time as Crimes in Fashion, which was, hold on, let me think about this because there is a way for me to, okay, damn, it really has. Between both channels, between the last one that I blew up and where I'm sitting right now on July 19th, the entirety of my YouTube career has been 13 months. That is hard to believe. My God, I was thinking it was more like 2 years. Okay, so when I was here the first time, I don't even remember how I first started talking to heels. Probably in a chat somewhere. And we just kind of hit it off. And at that time, she only had my burner number. Oh, wait a minute. I do remember how it happened. Yes, it was. That was Mary Poppins I was quoting. Hey, Nonsense, how are you? Oh, Mona Lisa. Nonsense. When I started, I put a link in the chat to your video from yesterday. That's what I was listening to when I put my war paint on. I was saying how nice it is to have a fellow soldier in the war against, well, at least partially Betty. Okay. I just said I remembered, and now it left. It'll come back. Jesus. God, that is so aggravating. Why can I not remember? Trust me, it'll come back to me. And it's not that important anyway. Suffice it to say, at that time, she only had my burner number. So on this phone that I was reading to you guys off of, I have a burner number. I do not have a second device. I don't want the damn devices I have. I'm sure as shit not buying another one. I considered it, but then I found out you can get this device called My Burner, and I pay like $9.99 a month, and you get up to 3 lines. And at that time, that's what everybody had. Not well, with the exception of one person. So she and I, we hit it off, and we would occasionally talk outside of YouTube. But like I said, she only had My Burner. And the reason that where I'm sitting now, and I still have the burner, but I only use it, like I told, who did I tell the other day? Diamond Cutter. I said, I'll leave my number in your chat, my burner number. Call me on that, and then I'll give you my real number. The only reason that I never continued to use the burner number was because no matter what I did, I could not get that thing to text or ring in real time. So by the time I would see text messages, it would be days sometimes, because I would forget all about it and it wouldn't ring. I tried everything. I tried the settings within the app. I tried the settings within the phone. Whatever it was, it just didn't work. So when I left YouTube the last time, I think it was, well, within days of when I left, I gave, because I honestly had no plans. Hey, Fit and Kirby, how are you? I had no plans of coming back here again. But I had made a few friends here that I still wanted to stay in touch with. So I gave Heels and some others my real number. I said, forget that number that you have for me. That's a burner. Here's my real number. So that was, I'm trying to remember when I left. Well, it was during Quentin Simon, and I can tell you this, it was prior to Leilani being arrested. So it was somewhere between, he wasn't even found yet. So they were still looking for him. I can tell you this, because this sticks out in my mind. Hey, BMG, how you doing? Fizz Crank was going down. He was en route to Georgia in the clown suit at the behest of, I believe it was Rap. And I don't know why that particular detail sticks out, but it does. And well, I do know why, but I don't need to share that. But it was someone else, not Heels. It was another creator that I was very close with, who was keeping me kind of telling me what was going on. Within a couple days, I actually told anybody that I was still talking to that I wasn't watching, and I didn't care. I do remember that I independently, after like, I'd maybe been gone a week, I was still very, I wanted to know if they had found that baby yet. So I did Google, and, I don't think at that time that I looked, that there'd been an arrest yet, and they hadn't found him. But for anybody that's coming in and doesn't know what I'm talking about, where I'm going with this, let me just give you a really quick rundown of what I'm doing here. I've explained what information I am currently in possession of since I was last on YouTube yesterday I think it was early afternoon. Yeah, because the live I had scheduled was, I think it was for 12-ish. So I discussed the very little tiny bit I know about what is going on right now with Heels in the Air. And it was the video from Chronicles of the Shady, and it is the 17-minute-ish video from the jerks that I wasn't able to, because of the way I was watching it on the TV, I was not able to see completely clearly 100% of a lot of the text that was accompanying the graphics, but I've got I know enough to sit up here and speak right now. I am absolutely going to make myself completely informed about all of it before I speak again. Cece, what's not normal? I'm so sorry, y'all, for I thought I canceled the live on StreamYard, but apparently I did not. Okay, so all I'm doing now for anybody coming in, and you've actually come in at the perfect part, definitely go back and listen to, how far in am I? No, well, if you want to know everything, go start at the beginning, but we're going to go in a straight line, linear fashion, of just the chronological order of events in mine and Heel's friendship. So I left during Quentin Simon and I came back. I was gone. I think I've been back here. It's no more than 5 months. So I was gone through, hey, Professor Toasty, how are you? I was gone through all of the holidays. And I continued to talk to, including Heels. It started as 4, became 3, and ended up as only 2. As far as Heels, I talked to her probably, well, I know I had a text exchange with her Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and it was just, hi, I hope you have a good holiday. And she would always tell me, I miss you. Are you going to come back? The more time that went by, it was, you need to come back. The more time that went by, it was, please, we need you. But we were talking like I said, it was the holidays. And then I would try to really make an effort to, and not just with Heels, but with the 4 that rather quickly became 3, which, then we got to two people about, midway through. But it was certainly not like, I would say maybe every 2 to 3 weeks, and it would just be a short, hey, how you doing? That was pretty much the long and the short of it. So when I did decide to come back, I let her know. I said, well, I'm going to come back. And she, she was seemed really happy. And she did put, I think she put a link to the first video I made, because I did a real short, two short videos before I came back. And she linked one of the videos to her page, and she let people know I was going to come back. So I appreciated that. I appreciate anyone who has ever shouted me out. And when I said this morning, y'all, I'm telling you right now, this is going to make me cry. And it is what it is. I'm going to try not to because my eyelashes really gave me hell this morning. And I don't really want to see them float off my face. But it is what it is. Hold on, just making sure I haven't skipped over anything. So this morning, and since I have been back here on YouTube, I have most definitely had a closer relationship with heels this go around than I did the last time. I can't believe it still hasn't come back to me. What? Oh, it just did. Remember when I told you that I couldn't quite remember what it was that kind of started us really talking? I do. Do y'all remember when Glare had on JLR's ex-girlfriend? I cannot remember her name. She was a really cute girl. We were all shocked. We were like, holy shit, what? How did that happen? And if you saw that episode, more importantly, maybe the next one, you know why Glare had her on. And it wasn't just for what it looked to be on the face of it. He had docked somebody that day, and I guess the opportunity presented itself and he took it. But let's just say it didn't end well. It kind of went off the rails towards the end, and my understanding is that girl, who I cannot remember her name, but let's just call her Melanie. I don't know why I want to say Melanie. I know that's not her name. She, I believe, her first contact, well, I don't know if it was the first, but if I'm not mistaken, it was Heels in the Air who put her in touch with the Glare, I think. As many of you know, Heels had a particular interest in JLR. And I don't care what comes to light about Heels, JLR is still a piece of shit, okay? Anything she has done does not change that. Not for me. But that's for another time. I was doing a live, and it quite literally, I do believe, if it wasn't my second, it was my third. Hey, Emmy, I had no idea what the hell I was doing. Jesus, I mean, between the I was trying to use my iPad. Like, see, where I'm sitting right now, this is a desktop, which, you know, I swear I should always listen to my husband. I do with the big things. It's the little things that I'm like this piece of garbage, very rainbow, you know, it's pretty rainbow lighted keyboard. My husband's like, honey, that's a piece of shit. You'll hate it. Yeah, I do. But much like the old days of just absolutely doing everything in my power to live stream from an iPad, it doesn't work. It doesn't work well. And as my husband said, honey, an iPad is a consumption device. They don't want you doing all the shit you're trying to do with the iPad. They want you to buy the MacBook for that. So he was right, as usual. God, that pisses me off. So there were some things that, let's just say there were some very pointed questions that Melanie, we're calling her, was supposed to have been asked by the Glarer. It just didn't happen for whatever the reasons, and I'm sure it was more than one. But Heels in the Air reached out to me. I did not even, at that time, I didn't really know. I mean, I saw her in the chats and we would, hi, but I think that must have been when I gave her, it is, because there's something that just clicked for me that is not anything you all need to know about, but it's just a detail that now I know I'm right about that is what would have precipitated. It either was right before that. No, this is okay. So this is what happened. It was a day after. Will does his thing. It might have been a Wednesday or something, whatever it was. Let's just say JLR's girlfriend, well, she still had some things to say. And she didn't want to go back there to Will. So Heels in the Air told her I was on live. Like I said, it was either my second or my third. I had sound issues. I had connection issues. It was a freaking mess. And I was in my old setup. So I had the two lavender chairs back there, and I would put this little table in front of me, and I would put my iPad on like a tripod, and I would only use the light just simply from the backlight of the iPad. And I'll never forget, I was live, and I think my first live, I had a lot of help. White Rabbit is the one who held my hand through the maiden voyage. She told me how to do it. She held my hand through the whole thing. And I had several other people, many of which are still here, who came up and held my hand through the panel. So I guess I was under the impression that anytime you go live, you put the link in the chat. And the reason I say that is because on my second or third live, it was a Friday night, if I'm not mistaken. All of a sudden I see, how did that go down? Oh no, Heels in the Air already had my number because she sent me a text. That's what it was. She sent me a text and she said, put the link in the chat and somebody is going to come up. Somebody wants to come on panel and talk to you. And I was like, okay. So I did. And I see this woman. I see just an avatar in the back. And the one thing I remember Rabbit kept telling me over and over was, whatever you do, always make somebody show you their face before you let them up. Otherwise, they, who knows? They're naked, they're pee bombing you. So that was, because it was only my second or third live, I remembered. And I remember I said to her, I need to see your face. So when she showed me her face, I said, you don't have to stay on. I just need to see. And I remember I looked and I was like, who the hell is that? So here I am. Basically, yeah, we've had the maiden voyage, but I'm still pretty much a virgin. And she comes up, and there was some kind of a miscommunication, we'll just say. And I think she was under the impression that I knew who she was and what she wanted to talk about. I had no freaking clue. So she starts talking to me, and I'm like, I'm trying to play along with this, and I am losing it inside because I'm like, holy shit, who is this? Where is this going? And finally she said, God bless her if you're out there, thank you. She said, I'm the one that was on the Glarers the other night. Remember, I'm JLR's ex. And I was like, oh my God. And then, of course, I thought, oh shit, this could be good. Well, And here I had to come up on the fly with, I'm trying to think of questions to ask her. Hey, Dis, how are you? I'm trying to think of questions to ask her so I don't look like a complete dipshit that she wasn't already asked. I'm trying to not let the people watching know that I'm totally melting down because I have no clue what's going on here, and trying to not let her see that I don't know what the hell I'm doing, because I definitely want her to come back when I've had a minute to, you know, come up with some questions. So that was how that happened. So once I came back the second time, Heels, we definitely got closer. Now, I said this morning, well, one of the things I said was, here's what you can count on from me. I'm real, I'm loyal, and I try not to be a hypocrite. And that is absolute 100% truth. I'm just looking at this outline, and I'm thinking of switching what I was going to say next. I'm thinking I might flip with the second thing. Hold on, give me just 1 second. Okay. I think this is a good place to tell you what being a friend to someone means to me. And in terms of me and Heels in the Air, while we definitely, if I had to put a number on it, I would say we probably, I mean, we do not talk every day. I would say 2 to 4 times a week. Typically it was me texting her, and a lot of times it would be nothing more than me watching something, usually on the replay, sometimes live, and saying, oh my God, WTF, did you see? Blah, blah. Most of it, I mean, 95% of anything we ever texted about was meaningless YouTube gossip. I meant it when I said, here's kind of how, in fact, I actually have it in my text messages. I'm not going to go back and find it, but it was, I think this will perfectly sum up the friendship between me and Heels, at least from where I'm sitting. Until the lawsuit, I never knew Heels' name. Even then, when that came out, I talked to her, and this is why it sticks out in my mind. You see, there are certain things that I can remember because they happen around, you know, things that I remember for whatever reason. And when the lawsuit, when Queen Bee was served the lawsuit, I talked to her the following day. One of the two times in, well, let's just say 13 months, my entire YouTube career, between day one, when I appeared here 13 months ago, and right now, there have been exactly 2 occasions when Heels in the Air and I have talked on the phone rather than this. And the first time was right before, I'm talking within days, before I blew my channel up. And it was, I forget, it was something about Quentin Simon we were talking about. And I'm not even sure why at that time. You know what I think it was? Because I was in the car on the way to get my hair done. Damn, I'm always getting my hair done. And I had like an hour, and there was something that we had been discussing, and I remember I said, listen, I got to get in the car. I'm not going to be able to, I can't text and drive. If you want to, call me. So she did. That was the first time we'd ever talked. And we talked probably 45, 30, well, 30 minutes or less. So that was the first time. And the second time was the day after Queen Bee was served. And she was, well, who I was assuming was her, was named in the suit. Another reason I remember this is because I was on my way to get some Botox. And that's about 45 minutes to an hour also from my house. So I remember I texted her and I said, damn girl, what the hell is going on? I said, I'm getting ready to get in my car. If you've got time, call me. I've got 45 minutes to an hour where I'm trapped in the car. So she did. And shit, I dropped my pen, but I've got my gold pen. I have to stand up in a minute. So even when we talked about the suit and we laughed about the fact that Betty does not have jurisdiction over her, she's never even been served, blah, blah, blah. Not Betty, but the court, and I don't even remember where Queen Bee is, I think Illinois. We talked about shit like that. I never said to her, oh, so Vicky Pate is your name? I never said that. Y'all, the relationship that we had is best summed up like this. I liked and respect her, y'all, this is very hard for me because please don't read too much into whether I'm using present tense, past tense. I mean, listen, this is very difficult for me, okay? And I'm not working with all the information yet. So I'm going to do this in my way. I'm not telling anybody else they need to do what I'm doing. They need to feel like I'm feeling, etc. But this is how I'm going to do it. We had a very cordial friendship. When I am your friend, and I trust and believe, I completely understand the distinction between a real life friendship, like my friend that was over here on Monday who sat on my couch and we shot the shit because we haven't seen each other in about 6 weeks, which is incredibly rare for us to go that long without getting together. But, you know, there's been a lot going on for both of us in our personal lives. So it doesn't mean that it's any less of a friendship. What I'm trying to articulate is this. I have never asked Heels in the Air about any of her personal life details, nor has she ever asked me about any of mine. And we were both just fine with that. And that is not completely unheard of, okay? I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of a, we're gonna walk back just a minute here, because it relates to that. When I was here the first time, hi Zen, I had a friend, I made a friend who I absolutely loved and adored. I talked to that person probably daily, definitely on YouTube, and then on the phone. And that was a much more that particular friendship, that was not like heels in the air and myself. And on my part, maybe because of that, it wasn't. For heels, I can't speak to why. That's just how it was for us. And we were both, not only were we both fine with it, we both wanted it that way. I hand to God when I tell you that I do not know any of the details of her personal life. I don't know what she did for a job. I don't know where she lives. And only if I believe what was in the court documents, I don't know, nor do I care. I don't know anything about her family situation. I don't know anything about her marital situation. I don't know anything about her employment situation. Nothing. That doesn't mean that I don't call her a friend. I have very much been her friend and care about her. Now, when I was here before, that was different. That friendship, that person did know a lot of my real life. And not because I was like, oh, here, let me tell you. No, because if you're a woman, I mean, maybe it works this way for dudes. It probably does. But for women, very much, at least for me, it is just the natural evolution of a relationship with someone. That, and bear in mind, like I said, in as much as we're talking about YouTube, I have never had any other socials that I had any type of involvement in, nothing like this. I told you what I had in the past. My friends have always been real flesh and blood friends. Heels and the other person I'm speaking about that I'm not naming, and not because for any other reason except I don't need to be bringing her name into anything. She doesn't have anything to do with any of this. So this is definitely new ground for me as well. And it's just the natural evolution of a relationship, whether it's a friendship or a boyfriend, a marriage, whatever. As you, I mean, I won't speak for everybody, but at least for me, my experience in life has always been that you meet someone, if you like them, you begin communicating. Hey, lurker, how are you? And the more you feel comfortable with someone, the more you get to know someone, you reveal more about you. And you do that because that's a sign of trust. That shows that you trust someone. So when I was here the first time and I made this close friend, as I sit here today in this chair, despite the fact that I have not spoken to her since, I think it was about, I think the last communication I had with her was a few days after I left YouTube. And as I sit here in this chair, not being able to tell you why that is no longer, I still care about her. And at least some of that is me feeling like I just kind of, everybody has their own lines in the sand that they draw where things are concerned. And, I just feel a certain type of way about why that friendship is no more. And as I sit here in this chair, and the reason I'm telling you this is because while it may not have factually anything to do with the present situation, for me, it very much has meaning. And as I sit in this chair, I don't know why that is no more. It was not my choice. And I was ghosted, period, end of story. That's the only way I know how to put it. And like I said, I don't have any bad feelings. I wish I knew why, because I really cared about her. I did. And you can tell and I feel, sometimes I feel like, well, why am I, what the hell am I getting upset about it for? Because clearly she didn't give a shit. But it's not about how she felt. It's about how if I call you my friend, I don't just throw that shit in the trash, okay? Right or wrong, that's me. And I'll tell you why, at least in part. I don't collect people. I never have. I've always had just, a few friends, real friends. Like, I'm that friend that you can call me at 3 a.m. because you're, broken down on the side of the road. I'm probably going to send an Uber for you, but you get the point. I know a lot of people come on here and, they appear to be thick as thieves. And listen, I don't care how old you are, how much life you've lived, how much experience you have. If you can say that you have never been sorely disappointed in someone that you called a friend and or just had a friendship go bye-bye, then you're lucky. I've had 2 very decades-long friendships in my life that I don't have anymore. And one of those, I know some of the reasons why. Not my choice. Some of it was, there's definitely some mental health components that I was not aware of until about, 18, 19 years in. You want to talk about getting steamrolled and not knowing what the hell just hit you? Well, that's when you have a friend of about 18, 19, just shy of 20 years. Your children have literally grown up together. she was my neighbor when I moved in to the only home that my son ever knew until I married my husband, and he was well into middle school by then. I mean, my son's lived in 2 houses his whole life. And she was my neighbor. Our kids grew up together from 6 months old at, no, 18. Y'all, give or take 2 decades. Something happened. She was here visiting me. It was entirely her fault. She would tell you the same thing. It was not anything that was intentional, but I'm trying not to get on into all the details here because it doesn't matter. Just suffice it to say that she was in my life almost 20 years. I did come to find out that she had BPD, but I don't know if the BPD combined with the event that happened when she was here visiting, but she left with an agreement to, let's just say that what happened had financial repercussions. She owed my husband and I thousands of dollars. We didn't care about the money. My husband told her, you can pay me $5 a week. She made 6 figures, okay? It wasn't about the money. It still isn't about the money. And it wasn't my choice. But for whatever reason, she took care of what she promised to do for maybe 2 months. And then she stepped out of my life, and I've never spoken to her since. First few years, I would keep up with her through her daughter. I don't do that anymore because it's too painful for me she knows where to find me. I'm not going to say there's no hard feelings. I'm not mad, but I'll never get over the fact that she could just walk. So, and the other friend I had, that incidentally is the last time I spoke to the one I just told you about. Well, that was my best friend of 30 years who died of cancer, who I took care of because there was no one else, despite the fact that it destroyed me. It crushed my soul to do it, but there was nobody else. And that was the last time that I talked to the other friend because she knew that one. And I sent her a text message the day after she died to let her know. And her message back to me was, I'm so sorry. You were such a good friend to her. And I know I have not been that to you. And that's the last I talked to her. And that's been, I don't know, 3 years, 2 years. I think my girlfriend will be gone 3 years in December. And when I tell you, I mean, it's horrible that anyone dies of cancer, breast cancer. When the hospice doctor tells you that it is the worst case of cancer he's ever seen, you could see the tumor in her chest just from looking at her. She was in agony. And she would have kept trying to fight, But the only way to get her the pain control that she needed was to go into hospice. And I had to sign the papers to do it because I was the healthcare surrogate and she couldn't do it. She couldn't even sign her name. So I know what it is to be a friend. And I know how hard it is to come by them. And that's why I tell that story. It's not for sympathy. I mean, I'm trying not to let the tears that are welled in my eyes, I'm trying not to let them fall, because once they do, the eyelashes are going to go with them. So I am not a perfect person. I never have been. I'm never going to be. I'm sure that there's no doubt people that I have hurt with my actions that maybe used to call me friend. Have I ever done something like the story I just told you? No. But so here's what I'm going to say about heels. I want, if she wants, if she doesn't, that's fine. But I would like to hear her side. I would like to hear her. Y'all, this, perhaps what I should have said first is this. I 100% categorically denounce and disavow any form of racism, any autopsy photos, or tormenting, taunting any victim's family. I don't, 100%. I don't care who it is. I don't care whether I called you friend, whether I said you were a piece of shit, etc. I do not support that. Not from her, not from anyone. Now, as far as the autopsy, the allegation that she was showing autopsy photos, I have to stand up, y'all. Oh God. Kendrick, is his name Kendrick Johnson, I believe. I didn't follow that case. I do know that he was found inside of the gym mat, inside of the school gym, I believe. What's interesting is I don't remember watching that video of heels, but I absolutely recognized the thumbnail. It was a guy kind of crouched down, and I think he had his hand like this on, elbow on his knee. I do not remember the video. I absolutely do remember seeing the thumbnail. I find it hard to believe that heels would have put up, and hey, if it's out there and I'm proven wrong, then of course I will make the correction. But I've seen someone in the comments of that Chronicles video, I saw someone referred to it as autopsy photos, but then someone else referred to it as crime scene photos. Just common sense wise, my common sense is telling me, while I understand the thumbnail has been either privated or removed, I can't imagine that she would put up autopsy photos on YouTube. How could she have autopsy photos on YouTube for all that time and just now they're taken down? It doesn't make sense to me. Striker Force for you. Hi. Okay, so it was crime scene photos. I'm sorry. Crime scene photos are not the same thing as autopsy photos. Okay? I haven't seen them, so I don't know, but they are not the same thing. Now, as far as let me make sure I'm staying in order. Okay, there's that. As far as the other things that I have been able to what I have independently seen on my own from the Chronicles video and the Jerks video, which I am going to go back and watch on a different device and see maybe if I watch it on my phone, if when I pause it, see, because I'm watching it on a big TV, and when I hit pause, it brings up a big, solid colored bar across the bottom. And then I think it also has like the arrow. I don't know, but it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy for me to see. Hi, love. I have not talked to Heels. I want to talk to her. I will say this. What I have seen, I think, was in very poor taste, and it's nothing I would have ever done. Period. End of story. I don't condone it. Was I aware of any of that? No, I was not. Do I think that Heels is a racist who hates people of various colors different than her own? No. I also have very little information that I'm working on. I did reach out to her. I hope she will text me back. I don't have any reason to think she won't, but I can tell you, and go look if you don't believe me, just on my video from yesterday, because I hadn't even uploaded the one this morning yet, just on that video from yesterday, there was at least 2 comments, one of which was supposedly Dolly. I don't know if it was really him or not, but doesn't matter. And it said something like, oh, maybe you can do a live with Heels. Well, here's a newsflash for all of you where this is your fucking life. This is your be all, end all. It's all about the money. It's all about the come up, the climb. This is a hobby for me. Like, I have nothing to do with anything that was discussed in those videos. And I haven't talked to her. I mean, oh, let me think of what the other one was. Shit. It'll come to me. Hopefully. Maybe not. Yeah, Mama Bear, me too. Oh, listen, you guys, I guess all of this is to say this. If you wanted me to come in here and say, oh my God, she's a horrible person, she's a racist, she's this, she's that, she's the other, I am not about to do that based on the two things that I've seen where I've already disclosed at the beginning of this that I wasn't even able to fully read the text blocks. I absolutely saw enough to say that I believe it was in very poor taste, and it was not anything I personally would ever do. And for all the reasons that I have already stated, where I'm standing right here, right now, I'm still calling her my friend. Now, if she chooses not to respond to my text messages, and I'm sure she's got a big shitstorm going on at the moment. And if me saying that I'm not just going to, drop it like it's hot, upsets you, and you think that makes me whatever you're mad at her for, and you think that that is me co-signing, etc., that's fine. Because, like I said, I don't go around collecting people. And here on YouTube now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she is the only person that I communicate with I think she is. She's the only person on YouTube that I have any communication with off of panels. And listen, I will stand in what I believe. And if you have ever called yourself a friend to someone and you would just kick them to the curb based on part of a 17-minute video that you can actually clearly read and about a 7-minute video that you need to go watch for the third time to maybe without speaking to that person or anything else, then I would say to you that you really aren't a friend to that person. And it will not be the first time. Listen, I've been greatly hurt by two people that I called friend that I absolutely know, and at least for the one, was my friend. It didn't end well, and it didn't end through any choice of mine. But I know that we really were friends. I've got, years of pictures and experiences, vacations, every life event. There was not one life event we didn't go through together. Marriages, births, deaths, divorce, unalivings, all of it. She threw it away, not me. And I can promise you, if she called me up tomorrow, I would not turn my back. She'd owe me an explanation, And I said there were two. The other one, which was a friendship from YouTube, I kind of feel the same way. I don't know why it ended like that. She obviously had her reasons. And I wish her nothing but the best. And for every success for her and her family. That situation's a little different. But if she called me tomorrow, and you know who you are, and if you called me tomorrow, I'd be glad to hear from you. And I mean, I'd want an explanation, because I feel like, that's not unreasonable. And you do owe me that. I don't think it's ever going to happen. And I'm sad for that. But you can not be in an active friendship with someone, even when I mean, truly, I have no idea why that happened. And clearly it's still smarts. If it didn't, I don't think it would, invoke this much emotion. So I mean, I really hope that this kind of, I hope I've made all this understandable. And listen, I get it. There's going to be people who there's going to be people who are not going to like what I said. They're going to, tell me that I'm, oh, well, you must be co-signing everything, and you must feel that way. That's not at all what I said. I don't think I was, at all ambiguous. I tried not to be. And listen, if it was my mother, if it was my son, I don't care who it is. I most especially, just all of it, okay? All of it. Do you think that I get up here on my channel and I can speak with such passion and anger over fucking Scab Girl? Do you think I can do that because I don't truly feel that way? Of course that's how I feel. And I'd be saying the same damn thing to anyone. I don't give a shit who you are to me. And I'm going to say it again for the third time, for the ones in the back. Based on the very little bit of information that I have, what I was able to see clearly and hear from this morning at whatever time I said that was, 8 something. That is my stance as I sit in this chair right now. I completely disavow racism in any and all forms. I am only prejudiced against stupid ass people. I can't stand dumb people. I hate dumbasses. I'm a libertarian, truth be told, okay? I don't give a shit what you do in your bedroom, in your life, in your house. If it's not negatively impacting me or my family, you do you. I can tell you this, you're never going to find anything on Lisa in any kind of communications being a racist or bashing, gay people. And not just because I don't do it, I don't feel that way. I'm an equal opportunity hater. I know that's what or am I a roach? Am I an equal opportunity roach? Dumb people are what I'm prejudiced against. Assholes are what I'm prejudiced against. And all this, listen, this will be a great opportunity for the scumbags, for the tragedy pimps. They will use this to their advantage. At least they'll try. It'll be a diversion. It'll be, you're saying this, that, and the other about us, and look over here. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. Anything that is involving heels in the air, at least from what I know at this very moment, has jack shit all to do with being a tragedy pimp. Okay? So and I don't know what else to say. At first I thought, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I never thought I would have liked it if I could have talked to her before I went live, but I knew immediately that I needed to speak, that I needed to address it, because to me, and I may not have done a good job addressing it, but I've done the best that I knew how to do while trying to not listen. If y'all don't understand that I'm in a delicate, it's kind of a delicate balance here, because I don't have all the information yet, not even close. I would like to be able to have a little more than I have now. I would like to speak to her, but I felt like it would have been wrong to do nothing, to say nothing. And I tell you what, I promise you, a lot of these scumbags, when given the chance, were they in the same position? Well, they'd do one of two things. They'd either shut up and, as per the usual YouTube playbook, say, no matter what kind of, explosion, raging inferno is 2 feet away from you. What are you talking about? Just act like you don't know what the hell's going on. Or because you're more worried about your sub count and your money, that you're going to go where the money takes you. Well, this is the benefit of not coming from that kind of place. So, hey, Ellie, how you doing? Hi, Outlaw. Hi, Nisi. Kathy P, how you doing? Lucy's World. Oh, is Dolly here? Oh, Dolly, would you like to come up and talk to me? I'll put the link in the chat. I don't think it is Dolly, but hold on a minute. Copy. Okay. Paste. Okay. I'm just curious, Dolly. or whoever you are. The link's in the chat if you want to come up and talk to me. And assuming you don't want to do that, well, maybe you could explain this comment that says, quote, in all caps, "You hate Black people just like her." Do you want to come up and tell me why you think that's true? Because last time I checked, yeah, I mean, I'm not married to Heels in the Air. Like, she's not my spouse. We don't have that kind of relationship. And I have never, not on YouTube, not anywhere on the internet, and not in my real life, is there one person, Black or any color, that would ever say any such thing. So whoever you are, where the fuck do you get off saying that? So since you've got such big balls in my chat, whoever you are, and you don't have to, I'll put the overlay up. You don't have to show your face, because I mean, I'm assuming that's not really you. So I'm happy to put the overlay up if whoever's behind that avatar, please, by all means, come on up and explain to the class how you would make a statement like that. Now, if you'd said, "You hate dirtbag tragedy pimps," well, okay, we can dance on that. Okay, it's him. Okay, well, Dolly, why don't you come up and talk to me? Listen, I'll be nothing but respectful. Do you see me sitting up here foaming at the mouth? I don't roll that way. So if you would like to come up and talk to me, I mean, that's a pretty explosive accusation you just made with, oh, well, SoFlo, don't time him out. Take him off. Yeah, don't. Can you undo that, or does it have to run? Come on up and talk to me. I just asked the mods to take you. Apparently you got timed out because you said, I hate, what did it say? You hate, hold on. Boy, that's a pretty big accusation. It's a good thing I'm not like your friend Betty, because you, number one, I am absolutely not a racist. There's a lot of things you can call me. Racist is not one of them. But since you decided to make that very big proclamation, I think the least you can do is give me the courtesy of an explanation. So, is he? Oh, well, outlawed, that might be the case. Oh, what? He's been saying nasty things to me? Well, Dolly, come talk to me. I'll be nice. I promise. I mean, what kind of move is that? Because I don't typically talk about you. I have talked about you in the past, but you're not usually the main focus of my lives. It's usually Betty. So, oh, well, thanks, Dylan Leather. Well, nonsense. We are in the Mutual Admiration Society, girl. Because I feel the same way about you. Dolly, take the link. So, Flo, has he been, he's not timed out anymore, right? I'm putting the link out again. Okay. All right. I just dropped the link again. And I think, oh God, so Flo. I can say this. I'm not a man. I don't know, maybe you're not either. Because I would never do that. Like, what kind of a dick, man or woman, goes into someone's chat? I mean, Dolly, you never see me. Listen, I don't go to your channel. I don't go to Betty's channel. I don't go to JLR's channel. I watch y'all on the clips. I don't come and sit in your chat and start shit. But you feel the need to come over here and tell me I hate Black people? Well, why don't you come on up and tell me why you say that? I mean, who does that? That's a bitch move. I mean, I could go by your chat and say all kinds of shit. But here's the difference. Well, one, I wouldn't do it. But if I did, if, you know, every other thing on the face of the earth was no longer there for me to find entertainment in, and I had to come to your channel, well, I wouldn't. See, I would only say something that I knew was true. And I wouldn't even say that about you. Why? Because that's a pretty heinous thing to say. And oh yeah, there's the little fact of the matter that I don't know you like that. And you damn sure don't know me like that. So why don't you come on up here and tell me what it is that you know about me? Because, you know, we've never met anywhere. We don't live in the same state. You don't know anybody who knows me in real life. I don't know, maybe you do. But what you damn sure don't have any right to say is what you just said. Can somebody screenshot that for me, by the way? So I'm waiting. Why? Where are you? So you're going to come in my chat. You put it in all caps. I mean, I'm assuming you wanted me to see it. It was just kind of kismet that I looked up and I didn't see yours, but I saw a reference to yours. So of course I scrolled back up. Oh, is this really what you're going to do? Because it's been screenshot now. Well, I guess what they say about you is true. Yeah, because what they always say about you is that you're big Bobby badass when it comes to women, but with men, not so much. But that's okay. I don't even care about all that. But you just leveled a very heinous accusation at me, you fucknut. So why don't you find your balls and come up and talk to me about it? I promise I'll be nice. I mean, listen, you're not playing with the fucking Crayola crew here, okay? I'm not Betty. I don't speak in crayon. I don't speak with my hands. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know any men that do shit like that. Well, I don't know any men that would go and like, don't you have any men things to do? Be that as it may, I guess you don't. So, since you took the time to come over here and why don't you want to call Betty up? You want to ask her about defamation? Because that's a really heinous thing you just said to me with zero basis in fact to say such a thing. And I don't fucking appreciate it. So be a man, find your balls, and come talk to me. And if you don't, well, then I'll just take the screenshot and I'll share it everywhere. I know, so Flo, that's what I'm wondering. Where are you, Dolly? Dolly, listen, Betty's taller than me, okay? I promise. I've never strangled anybody. I don't have any DUIs. I don't have any drug charges. Well, there was that time when I was 18 and I forged a check for $100, but, you know, I was stupid. I knew it was Well, I mean, I knew I shouldn't be doing that, but I thought the worst thing that would happen was I had to pay it back. I didn't know they called it forgery. But that was my one and only brush with Johnny Law. Yeah, I promise I'll be nice. Waiting. Hey, Justin, how you doing? Hi, Mouse, how are you? Bison, have a good one. Oh, God, right? Nonsense. He's got to be desperate for content. Oh my God, it's almost like some kind of redneck celebrity just came and graced my chat. Woo. Oh God. Yeah, Dolly. It's like, oh, Still in Leather's comment says Lisa seems to have more balls than Dolly. Oh, yes, and my dress cost a lot more that they're hidden under. Yeah. What is it? You intimidated? I promise I won't use the big words on you. I mean, who does that? Seriously. Man or woman, but come on. honestly, I mean it. I still, if he will come over and he will come on panel, Dolly, I absolutely give you my word. And listen, you call me a bitch, you call me whatever you want to call me, but I don't think anybody's ever going to say that I'm a classless skank of the variety that you're used to dealing with. Like Betty. I will absolutely give you, well, I will be respectful. I will be respectful of and acknowledge the fact that you actually came back to talk to me, number one, like an adult, and number two, like the man that I'm assuming you say you are. Beyond that, I can't promise much, but as long as everybody stays fully clothed, no pee bombing, none of that. Well, I mean, my gosh, maybe we could have like a productive conversation. I don't get it. Like, why would you do that? Why would you come and say some disgusting, heinous shit like that, and then you're not even man enough to come and talk to me about what you just accused me of? Which, by the way, is patently false. And I just want to know, what is it that makes you think you can just roll on up here and say that to me? Do you want to ask Betty about defamation? You want to ask her about that? Because that's libel, what you just did with an audience. Now, I know you don't have jack shit. It's obviously. I'm pretty sure the shoes I'm wearing cost more than the lot rent on your trailer. I mean, that's just a guess, though. So, I mean, we can trade insults like that, but I wouldn't. Oh, he's live, is he? Oh, wow. Oh, well, I don't know. I can't say it surprises me, but I tell you what, fuck nuts, you better listen up. You better mind your tongue, because you start rolling around here accusing me of being a racist. Well, you cannot prove that, because I'm not. And no such proof exists. And you know what that makes that? Libel. That's what that makes that. So you better slow your roll. God, what a bitch. Like, that is. He went to go talk. That's fine. He can talk all the shit he wants. He better not be talking any more shit like that, though. Because I got news for you. If you think it's defamation for me to call Betty a tragedy pimp, it's not. And tread lightly. That's all I'll say. Tread lightly. You say whatever the hell you want about me as far as opinions. You start defaming me, that is defamation. That is absolutely. That is the very definition of defamation. Hey, Hondo. Oh, Hondo, you missed all the fun. Oh, Jones, and he did. He came in this chat and in all caps, he told me, you hate, what did he say? You hate black people just like she does. And of course, I put the link up and asked him to come up on panel, but naturally he tucked tail. I was going to say he tucked his tail under his balls, but I guess he doesn't have any. Yeah, that's a pretty big accusation that he just threw in here. God, I cannot believe that douche. Wow. Hey, France. He was looking for Jones. My God. I cannot believe that dude just rolled in here and said that. Jesus. I mean, anything else, I'd have laughed, like I usually do. To say something like that, I don't even have the words. That is so. Like I said, you better tread lightly. And we're sure that was him. Like, I cannot believe that dude just rolled up in here. Like, who? Do you know how infuriating that is? I mean, that is just fucking vile. And if I thought that piece of shit owned anything besides that tin can he probably lives in, like, I can absolutely, with 1,000,000% certainly, say it again for the ones in the back. I disavow any and all forms of racism. You know what I'm prejudiced against? Stupid fucks like you, Dolly. Hondo, I don't know. I know that there was a comment with the same avatar in my video. I think it was it the one I did yesterday? Hey, Pulame. I hope it was not him, but I mean, I have no way of knowing. Everybody in here said it was him. Because I think there was some, he did it under Dolly Vision too. Honestly, I don't even know what to say, because I'm telling you right now, if I let loose, first of all, I'm fucking emotionally wiped out. Okay. This was hard doing this, and hard because there's a lot of feelings involved. That's what's hard. And to think, whoever it was, Oh, Hondo, you do? Well, we might need those. I mean, I can't say that I'm surprised. I had a feeling that because listen, there's a lot of people rolling around on here that, oh no, we'll get my little friend the duck. They're as bright as this rubber duck right here. Except the duck is nicer and cuter. So I had a feel, and listen, you guys, I don't give a shit. I know who I am, but that's why I'm sure several of you have been in here at times when people have come in that are not very nice, and they'll say, "Hey, T-Pac, how you doing?" Okay, T-Pac says, Ms. Lisa, I can't see him as he had me blocked. Obviously, a person trolling would not have me blocked. I think you're right. Honestly, it's like, I don't know why these dirtbags never fail to surprise me. And I knew that, listen, it doesn't surprise me. I knew. It surprises me that it was him because, like, Dolly, why do you care about what I'm doing? That's what's interesting to me. I mean, I'm just a little old tiny channel. I've got like 1,200 subs. Or 11, no, I think I have like 1,100. It's why does he care what I'm doing? Oh, thank you, nonsense. And thank you for yesterday. I'm halfway through, but I'm going to finish it. I'm hoping I'm going to get to the part where you really start losing your shit on her. Woo, we should do a joint episode. I don't care. Listen, I don't care. I know that just by virtue of the fact that I'm speaking, I am subject to the same shit that I do. I mean, I'm not a hypocrite. I don't think that I sit up here in a bubble and like, oh, well, I just get to talk about you, and you, but you can't talk about me. Hell no. I know better than that. Are you kidding me? But I tell you what, you want to see the difference between me and Dirtbag Dolly? Well, besides many IQ points. And, apparently, well, never mind. That is this. Do you know that even that nasty dirtbag white trash Betty, do you know that even when many other people on this platform were calling her a racist just for her latest, no, I'm not talking about all the, the poorly, those very unfortunate photos that you will never find one of me. You will never find it. You want to call me a racist? Prove it. And you better fucking hope you can. And you can't. God damn, that pisses me off. You say whatever you want about me, as long as it's true. Or even passable. That's not funny. And it damn sure isn't true. Scumbag. God, you are trash. Even that skank, Betty, when, a whole lot of people were calling her a racist after, what was it? I don't know. There was something a couple of weeks ago. Oh, that sweet little girl from, was it Atlanta? Remember? Oh, what was her name? Sweet little thing. The boyfriend, her mom's boyfriend, he beat her within an inch of her life. The mother was hospitalized. He took off with the baby. At any rate, that's the case I'm talking about. there were a lot of people saying that the only reason Betty was covering that case was because she knew she needed some, let's just say, some color in her catalog. And let me just illustrate for you, besides the many IQ points that make up the difference. Oh yes, and then there's our living situation. My house isn't on wheels. Oh God, he's got me fucking steamed. Do you know what I said about that? I afforded Betty that much respect. And I said loud and clear in the beginning, I am not going to call Betty a racist. And guess what? In the case of Betty, well, there's a lot of pictures on social media that many people believe do in fact point to that. But I've got a hell of a lot more class and, quite frankly, brains than to ever accuse someone of that without knowing with 100% certainty and proof that that is the case. It's kind of like calling someone the P word. It's very ugly, kind of like you, Dolly and Betty. And at least one person in this chat says they have a lot of, let's just say they have a lot of some of your greatest hits, Dolly, that, would definitely remove any courtesy extended to you in the department of, well, I don't know what you accused me of. But even with Betty, as much as I can't stand that skank, I said very plainly, it is not for me to make an accusation like that. And not because I don't believe what people say as far as, the meanings of certain hand signals and whatnot. My main motivation, besides that, is in fact defamation. So besides that little matter, I said, that is not, I'm a privileged white woman. I don't know what it's like to be the victim of someone else's bigotry and racism. Although it seems to me that I just did become the victim of some mouth-breathing morons' defamation where race is concerned. My God. But because I have so much respect for that word, because that's a mighty big word with a very, very powerful, horrible, I was going to say negative connotation, but it's not a connotation. It's a direct assertion. And even with that skank, and it wasn't even about Betty. No, you know what it was about? It was about the fact that I didn't feel like, from my position of my whole life, coming at something from the position I've always been in my life, that being a privileged white woman, I didn't feel like that's not my experience. It's not my right to label someone else as that. Not in this instance we were talking about. That is for someone who has been the target, the victim of racism. That is for them. That's their story to tell. And if someone who has been the victim of a racist wants to label someone else on here with proof a racist, it's not my right to do it. Not in that circumstance. So to think that scumbag, and dude, you are fucking trash. You are scum. In my world, you'd be blowing the leaves off the front of my driveway. That's what you'd be doing, or fixing one of the broken sprinkler heads. I mean, I've never said anything like that before where he's concerned, but I kind of feel like all bets are off now. Since he basically just called me the worst thing you can call someone. Aside from like what lives in his house. An SO. Yeah. You better fucking tread really lightly where I'm concerned. Because you won't call me that a second time. Well, you might, but it won't go unchecked. Maybe you should call your, are you still banging Betty? Oh, I mean, I don't know. Are you guys? That's just rumor. Y'all, I don't know that that's any more than a rumor. And I'm not saying it is, but I don't know. I mean, but, whatever you're, whether y'all are just friends or, on, off, in, out, whatever, I don't know. Well, she is a jailhouse lawyer, so you might want to. Oh my goodness, and that's right, she's suing somebody for defamation. Maybe you should call her up and ask her, like, what is defamation again, Betty? And in the event that is not Dolly, well, I will of course issue an apology. But the chat seems to think that it definitely was him. Oh my God, Gina, really? Ah! Oh God, that is so gross. Oh, you guys, this is like, oh, I tell you what, he better check himself if he fucking ever calls me that again. Because listen, he can bust on my appearance all day long. Fair game. Things that are personal insults, petty insults, that shit's all fair game. I would never. I ain't Betty. I would never sue somebody over stupid bullshit like that. But I'll tell you what, you come in here calling me that? I mean, I wonder if he even realizes what what that could do. Like, I wonder if he thinks about, I'm sure he doesn't. I don't think he's as evidenced by his life. Because Dolly, here's the thing. Congratulations. Oh, yay. Yay. You're a famous YouTuber. Congratulations. But see, I'm not like you. I'm not a broke bitch. I don't need YouTube. This is a hobby for me. So you win at YouTube. I'll win at life. And you know, that what you said to me, or whoever's, conscripted your avatar. Oh hell, he's not going to know what that word means. Taken. Whoever's taken your avatar, if it's not you. Well, I don't know, from where I'm sitting, that could be that could put me in harm's way, let's just say. Because, there's a lot of nut bars out here. Hi, Clancy. Oh, Pula May, can you imagine? Oh my God. Like, oh God, Gina, the thought of that particular menage a trois. I mean, even though it probably, I know it wasn't technically a menage a trois. It was actually probably just a trois. Oh God. Ugh! Ugh! What did it involve? Like a slip and slide and a gallon of, what's that cooking oil they sell at Walmart? What's that shit called? Wesson oil. Yeah. What was that? Was it like party favors and whatnot? Twister and, oh God, can you imagine? Oh, you guys, this has been, my God, comedian YouTube celebrity, huh? Well, you know what? There's nothing funny or comedic about telling someone they hate Black people. Yeah, that's no. There's nothing funny about that. Like, I seriously, I cannot believe that dude walked in here and did that. Like, I don't know. I'll tell you what, I fully acknowledge that I have said shit about all of them, but never have I ever said something like that, because I know better. And even if I believe that, and it's my own personal belief, that is actionable. And it's also can be dangerous. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Like, I don't understand what happens to some of them where they just lose their ever loving minds. Like, they think this is all there is to life. Well, I guess when it's your job, they have a different stake. And I can even appreciate that, okay? I can totally understand that there are different, the stakes are different for everyone here. And I have never, ever tried to impact anyone's ability to make a living on here. I've never reported anyone. I've never done any of that. I mean, hell, somebody tagged me in a video yesterday, or I don't know, no, it was like 2 days ago. And the title was something about it was something about Scab Girl. But it was about, I think it was 12, 15 minutes of nothing but the panel and like these animated stars, like shooting stars. I guess that was transformative. Never said not one single word of commentary, no written like text commentary, not a thing. And even though I kind of thought it's a very new channel, and even if it hadn't been, I would like, I'm not gonna, I kind of was like, well, why are you just streaming my show with animated stars? And they didn't even like say the channel. But like I said, it's a very new channel. And ultimately, do I care? No. But I have never gone out of my way to cause a problem for any of these fucking people. And if you can't take the fact that I sit in this chair and call you a lying scumbag because you want to tell people you're a member of the media when your verbal written ability of communication is about an 8th grader, well, pardonnez-moi. That means excuse me in French. I just, oh, Boston Nick, you missed the fireworks, that's for sure. Like when Dolly came in here and told me in all caps, he said, you hate all Black people. And as you can imagine, I'm feeling some type of way about it. And naturally, when I gave him the link multiple times, he wouldn't come on the panel. I very nicely invited him to take the link, and I practically begged him to take the link. And I mean, I'm sure this will come as a shock, but he wouldn't. No, my understanding is he just went live to go talk shit. So, oh, is the lawsuit moving forward? I take it that in typical bull scorn, bitch hole Betty fashion, let me guess. I mean, I don't know what the communication was, but having some real legal education myself, I would imagine it went a little something like this. Hi, well, it would have been a notice of appearance, would have been filed with the court, which puts all the parties on notice that Queen Bee is now being represented by, whoever her attorney is. And my guess would be that Betty got a letter that said, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Joe Blow. I've been retained as counsel by Queen Bee. And, listen, you stupid bitch. We all know that this is very poorly conceived, and we're going to sue your ass into oblivion unless, but here's your out. We're going to give you the opportunity to just come see, come saw. We'll just make this go away. And he may or may not have wanted some, well, I'm not going to comment anymore on it, but that's typically how these things go. The generic version is counsel comes on and litigation is very expensive. Okay. And here's the difference. Queen Bee has a lot of people who, oh, they love her. And well, look, my understanding is she raised about $6,000 in a week. I know, I'll keep donating. And Betty, ooh, I don't think Betty is going to have quite as much luck. I mean, I'm sure her broke ass bitch subs will, they'll get in there under the couch. What was that Benny Keys said that time to Prayer Garden? Something about digging. She's not having to dig coins out of the couch anymore ever since her YouTube channel took off. Oh God, that's another one that confounds me. But yeah, I would imagine that, that's the generic version of anytime litigation is set to commence. Well, I mean, Betty started the ball rolling. I'm pretty certain that the letter from the attorney was that, just picture this as my foot. And if I wasn't wearing a dress, I'd kick my foot up there. But just picture that Betty's like set the, well, let's see, we're not going to use a golf ball because that's too small. We'll use, let's just say, soccer ball. Soccer ball's good size. So Betty has set the soccer ball loose over the ledge. And let's just say that this is Queen Bee's lawyer's foot. And that ball has got the opportunity to stop right there. Like, hey, you got the chance to stop this soccer ball. And if you don't, well, buckle up, Buttercup. That would be my guess. And if I had to guess, I would also guess that Betty said, no, fuck you. Because in her mind, I'm pretty sure that she actually thinks that she can tangle with a real lawyer. She cannot. Betty, you can't. I personally hope you do. Well, I don't hope that for Queen Bee, but I hope, were you, historically, as you typically are, stupid, uninformed, etc., and you are in fact moving forward with this, well, I hope that I know I will continue to donate to the Legal Defense Fund. I'm sure everyone else will. And my gosh, she'll probably pick up new people because there's a lot of people that hate your guts, bitch. And yeah, it'll get real interesting because, oh my goodness, I heard medical records. Yeah, I mean, well, I just know what I've heard. So let's see, medical records. Oh, financials for sure. All of that's going to come into play, and it'll take a long time. Oh, Catherine, I was actually thinking about that. Hey, hippie, how are you? So yes, Nick, that's what you missed. You missed Dolly coming in here and saying to me what is second only to the P word, to someone calling you an SO or a P. He called me a racist. He said, I hate all Black people. I have no fucking clue what would have possessed that moron. And he didn't, he put it in writing, which I guess for me is a good thing. So something tells me that he will say that it wasn't him. I don't know if there's a way to figure that out. Something tells me there probably is. And of course I'll have, hey, Earth, I'll have a Nick, listen, I've had people run up in this chat before, tell me, you wear too much makeup, you're a clown, nobody likes you, your tits are fake, you're old. I've that kind of stuff I give two shits about. It rolls off my back like water off a duck's ass. Okay. I don't care about any of that kind of shit. But somebody coming in here and calling me a racist, which is categorically and patently false. And at least 3 points in this live stream, I have 100% categorically disavowed racism in any and all forms. So for somebody to come in and say such a thing to me, most especially when I know it was done just for effect, that's all it was. It was just like a, hey, sorry, bye, gotta go. I'm not a real man. I can't like have a conversation with you because, well, number one, I'm very intimidated, as he should be. I mean, can you picture him trying to have a back and forth, some kind of philosophical discussion with me? Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, thank you, Pula. I appreciate that. It's just, I don't, especially after I sat up here and just pretty much laid at least a part of my soul bare on here, talking about this whole situation and, you know, things from my real life that I've dealt with and why I've chosen to say the little bit that I have said until I have more information. And it's like to have somebody come in and especially, my God, dude, you're a fucking scumbag. You are trash. You ain't in my league, okay? For any number of reasons. I don't give a shit if you have 24,000 times the subs I do, 50,000, 100,000. I've got 25,000 more IQ points than you have, okay? When I make a title and I say, oh, it's too hot or too much, guess what? I know how many O's are in the correct form of two. Yeah, it's not TO. I can't tell you. I bet I could pull up his thumbnails right now and find, oh God, I couldn't even venture a guess at how many grammatical and spelling errors I would find. And you can call me the grammar police, but I'm sorry that I speak like an educated person. Yeah, Mama Bear, I think what I'm going to do is I've been on here 3 hours and 50 minutes. I'm talked out. What I'm going to do, I'm going to end this kind of how I started it. And I know some people have come in through various points. Y'all, I would really appreciate if you would just listen to it on 2 times the speed or whatever. I would appreciate it if you care. If you would just listen to what I've had to say about this. And I'm sure it's going to be evolving as I get more information. I spoke this afternoon. I laid it out very clearly and plainly at the beginning where when I sat myself in the seat 3 hours, 15 minutes, and 13 seconds ago, what information I had, I read from my phone, as a way to And I can upload if I need to, but I don't listen. If you don't believe me, you don't believe me. I gave timestamps. Oh, thank you, Beer Can. I appreciate it. I do. I honestly, this is not about me. I'm not trying to make it about me. It doesn't mean that I'm not affected by it. But that's not what's important here. I just wanted to. I would have listen. It is not me to sit back and say nothing and then just I felt like if I felt it was better to come out and speak with the information I had at the time. I felt it was better to do that than it would have been for me to sit back and wait to see how things shook out, because I just felt like if I did that, that would have been somewhat disingenuous, because clearly I would have had time to watch. I don't want anybody to say, oh, well, she didn't come out and say anything because she wanted to, she wanted to see what everybody else was saying before she came out. No, I didn't do that. I did what I felt was right for me. But because I chose to handle it that way, I only have a small part of the information. I gave my feelings on what I definitely did see clearly and hear. And I don't know how to make it any more plain than I already have. So I did what I thought was best, and with the information I had, and we'll see what happens. I hope that she will reach out to me. I think she will. I think right now, obviously, I'm sure she's dealing with a shitstorm. So I would imagine I am last on her priority list, and that's, I don't expect, listen, and I hope she hears me. I have not written you off. Okay. I haven't. And I don't care what anybody thinks of that. I've given my reasons. I don't agree. I would never have said or done the little bit I've seen. But I think I made it very plain that if I call somebody a friend, I usually say you're going to have to work pretty hard to make that not be the case. And I am well aware, clearly it's already happened, that I'm going to get, there's going to be people, I'm sure, who are going to say, oh, well, she must feel the same way. She does the same stuff. She didn't. I'm wiped out. I'm tired of talking about it, and I'm wiped out. And I don't want to turn this into this is not about me. I absolutely understand that there are many people that are upset and hurt, and I will be here. I'm going to give grace, and I'm going to reserve judgment, at least in full. until I have all the information and not just less than 25 minutes of videos. But and I'll take whatever. If this was not the right decision, that's on me, but I'm fine with it, and that's all that matters to me. I'm very glad that this is not my be all end all, because this is a vicious place, and I would feel horrible if this was all I had. Well, Hondo, the good news for you is you are my only client, so you get my sole life coaching focus. All right, everybody. I thank you guys so much for hearing me out. I appreciate it, and for all the love and support. What's today? Wednesday? I mean, I may come on tomorrow. We'll see how it shakes out. I don't know what I've got. I don't think I have anything going on the rest of the week, but yeah, we'll just see. I mean, and hey, the bottom line is, if we have free choice here, and if somebody can't deal with what I've said and think, they don't think I handled it right, or I didn't say what you've wanted to hear, I get it, and there's no hard feelings. But I'll go out at least standing for something, and I'm not riding heels off. I hope it doesn't come to that. But I also, please, if you hear nothing else, please know that I very much understand and appreciate that there's been a lot of people hurt by this. The least of which is me, okay? It's not about me. And I'm just doing what I think is right. So, all right, everybody, these as soon as I hit that orange button, this dam that I've been holding back, these eyelashes that are like, Christ, there are, it's like Betty's hair. I've got 2 eyelashes on each side, like Betty's got 2 intact follicles on her head that have been holding on to these lashes, and I am ready to let them go, you all. So I'm going to push the button, and the dam's going to break, and I will see you all soon. Have a good day. Bye.